Ambassador Imran, who is known as AS in the Mufassar, thank you very much that you have joined us also. If we look at the heritage of Pakistan, the civilization that we talk of, the Indus civilization, so advanced urbanization in those days, 3,300 BCE. And in those days, the ruins reflects that every house or a home used to have a toilet. In the morning, we will discuss there in the morning discourses, there people talk of not having a hygiene toilets availability in Pakistan. So what a culture that we inherited 5,000 years back, and today we are lacking behind that. As an ambassador, you have traveled a lot. May I just ask you why we haven't been able to harness the real potential of tourism, especially the heritage tourism, because we have 6 sites recognized by the UNESCO. It is Harappan ruins, and then we have Mohenjo-daro ruins, and then we have Takht Bahai, and then we have Texla ruins, and then the Shalimar Garden and the Lahore Fort, and the last one was recognized in 1997, the Rohtas Fort. So there are 26 other sites which are pending on the list of the UNESCO. We have a very rich cuisine, the culture, tradition, the races that I have mentioned, diverse religious history also, the attires, the traditional attires that we have in Pakistan. Other than the law and order, what you see with your experience that we are lacking, and what do we need to do to overcome these challenges, sir?
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I think a lot has already been said about the brilliance and magnificence of our great culture and heritage. I will not dilate upon that at all. I would focus on the difficulties that the diplomats of Pakistan come across in projecting and promoting the cultural heritage of Pakistan, and inducing people, persuading people to go and visit Pakistan and witness the splendors themselves. I have organized a number of international and national exhibitions and conferences to promote the ancient as well as the Islamic heritage of Pakistan. It is also important that to understand and be proud of the Islamic heritage that we have in addition to our pre-Islamic heritage. When I was in Saudi Arabia, I came to know for the first time, and no one in Pakistan at that time knew about it, that the chief calligrapher of the Prophet's mosque was a Pakistani. He is still there, working there, and he was working, when I came to know about it, he was there for the last 20-30 years. But in Pakistan, there was no recognition. So this is the primary question. Promotion of tourism or tourism is not about, it's not only sites. Sites are important, they have historic relevance, but with them comes an industry. Industry of products, cultural products, heritage products, which our artists have not only achieved a number of remarkable accolades in the world, but the problem is this, that no one recognizes them in the country. Can I ask anyone, and please do not hold me accountable for that, since I work with the government. It doesn't mean that I am responsible of all the shortcomings or the achievements, of course. But can I ask any organization that is visiting small villages and places to find out our artists who are engaged in traditional arts and craft? And a number of traditional arts and craft have ceased to exist because there is no commercial value attached to them. So we started this work. I worked with certain NGOs to find out, the artists who are engaged with traditional work. For example, in Sindh, if you go there and if you have visited Sachal Sarma's Mazar, you would find the best of the tile work over there, which they call Sindhi Nakashi. And the family that created that art is still engaged there, but no one knows them. Mrs. Vandal, you might be knowing her, who was for a while, Mrs. Sajda Vandal, who was the principal of NCA Lahore. She came to know about them. She brought the whole family to Lahore and she did something to promote the work that they have done. And I benefited out of that promotion because she introduced me to that family. I invited them to Saudi Arabia and they did a wonderful job in creating a replica of Sachal Sarma's Rosa in one of the lodges of the families, business families over there. This is how people come to know about Pakistan's cultural heritage and the work that our artists are producing and that has been produced in the past. And that comes to that brings me to my second point, and that is the importance of international exhibitions, national exhibitions and international exhibitions, in which traditional art and craft and the artists are promoted. I mean, we hold a few exhibitions at provincial capitals, and there are some exhibitions which are basically organized by Lok Virsa. I really doubt, I mean, they are doing enough to promote the heritage, the cultural heritage, the artists who are basically working in traditional arts and craft in a way that it should be. When Mrs. Clinton came to Pakistan as the Secretary of State, she visited Multan. And from Multan, she visited that bazaar that they have established, the market, cultural, heritage market, and found out a person who was basically painting the camel's hide sitting on the floor. She took them, the whole family, to the US, and now they are engaged with the University of Carolina. I was quite ashamed when once the ambassador of Iran told me that they were hosting an event on Pakistan's heritage, embroidery heritage, something like that. So, I mean, I don't know what is our embroidery heritage. I know that every tribe in Balochistan has its own tanka, has its own design of carpets, and all these things have commercial value. So we are losing on promoting and projecting not only our cultural heritage and things associated with certain religions which were produced in this country, and our national or the majority religion also. But the thing is this, that what have we done to bring this art and craft and heritage out of Pakistan at an international heritage? Now you would ask me that what have you done as the representative of Pakistan?
No, sir, I'm not asking what you have done.
No,
I'm saying with your experience, what do you think should have been done and which has not been done?
This is how I am explaining myself,
Sir.
by basically mentioning possible questions to what we have done. You know, after 18th Amendment, culture and archaeology has gone to the provinces. When we were working to hold our first exhibition at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we came across a huge problem. No federal government institution was willing to take responsibility of providing us with certain, heritage products to display or connect us with the artists in the far-flung areas of the country, including Balochistan. And the organizations or the ministries or departments at the provincial level were not as responsive. If we are coming across this problem at the federal level, I mean, you can imagine the problem an ambassador or his staff is basically encountering abroad. So there is a lack of coordination between various institutions, departments and ministries which have the responsibility to properly promote the image of Pakistan and provide right guidance to the ambassadors abroad or the diplomatic representations abroad. It is important because we need funds for preservation and conservation activities also. But let me complete. It is important and it is practical and we all should know about it. We know our heritage and we have read a lot about it, and you have heard a number of speakers. The things that I am sharing with you, these are practical things And if people who are relevant people sitting here must know about it and see what we can do to resolve them. So the thing is this, there is no connection, lack of coordination. Even if we try to do that, there will be problem. So those problems have to be addressed. The second thing is, which is from my perspective very important, is museum to museum collaboration. When we cannot, as ambassadors or as diplomatic representatives, cannot hold and cannot bring the products to any specific country, then the museum should have some coordination. The issue is this, that museums are also divided in, along provincial entities. And convincing a museum to think about this project to have a collaborative a mechanism, collaboration mechanism with a similar organization in another country is quite difficult. The third thing is this, that if you visit Egypt or Thailand or some other countries, you would find different dimensions of cultural products or heritage products being sold in the market, which are one of the biggest ways of promoting or projecting that country abroad. There are certain laws in this country that prohibit making replicas, for example, of Gandhara or Indus Valley, etc. So these laws have to be looked into, and a way should be found to promote, the production of these cultural products in various smaller dimensions, so that those can be exported. Unfortunately, things are being smuggled. If you go to Thailand, to go to several other countries in Southeast Asia, you would find a number of things made by schist from this black stone. This is happening. This has to be seen. This is a real problem. This has to be addressed. And the third and the last thing, which there are a number of things which I would, for the paucity of time that you just mentioned,
Sure, sir.
is a consistent narrative. We have created in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have published books also on that, as to how to connect. And there is history as well as logic as well as archaeological evidence also for that we can easily connect three main cultures and their evolution, supporting with mutually supporting each other, starting from Mehergarh, 7,000 years, 7,000 BC, as you yourself mentioned, their influence on Kodiji, and from Kodiji to Indus Valley, and from Indus Valley to Gandhara. There should be a connection. There should be a coherent and consistent story to tell, to bring people, to make it attractive enough. You just said that law and order, we just cannot overlook law and order. You cannot send anyone to any country if there is law and order situation, there are security problem. Infrastructure can be dealt with, but security is an issue.
Excellency, thank you very much. Very rightly, you have mentioned all the relevant points here.